Salutations, Internet. This is Frosty the Dragon, returning with more terminal velocity. Finally. Aragone. Epsilon Ari, 10.6 light-years from Earth. Years ago, research began on the subatomic bomb, or quark bomb. The basis of the theoretical bomb was thorium-4, an unstable isotope that would, if struck with sufficiently advanced particles, accelerated particles, blast in what was termed a deconstruction radius. Everything in the radius briefly separates into its component quarks, then reassembles randomly, destroying its original form. The bomb was so utterly destructive that research was terminated and all data supposedly destroyed. Apparently the PDCs have access databanks containing the early designs, and robot diggers became mining the thorium-4. Destroy what forces are guarding the planet and any mining vehicles you find. Fly through the collider tunnels to the thorium core and destroy it. Normal weapons won't start a deconstruction. Intelligence indicates that the core should be a large greenish sphere. If it is swelling, then it's in an excited state. Proceed with caution. If the PDCs are linked together with deconstruction warheads, you can kiss our collective asses goodbye. I love that report. Okay, so what do we have here on Aragone? EMC command posts we need to toast. Aragonian mine rovers that are harmless but transport thorium ore. Randorian anti-spacecraft batteries protecting the major facilities. Aragonian Shriek fighters made for speed. And that's about it. So, let us begin the biggest pain in the ass planet of all of them. Seriously. So, most of this is pretty standard. Fly around, start in a barren area. And just fly right over everything. Although I had the urge to use the smart bomb. And yeah, this is what I hate about checkpoints. You probably can skip them, but I've chosen not to for the sake of this. Might as well show how it's done, how it's normally done in this case, rather than futz around. I will try to futz around if there's enough support for it. So anyways, what makes this level such a pain in the ass? It's a mining facility. Mining facilities have tunnels. Unfortunately, due to the stupid way that terminal velocity handles the whole tunnel thing, which we're gonna find out very shortly in this level, that I had to transition around. This takes way longer than necessary. So you got two tunnel entrances here. You're expected to go into the one on the right. What happens on the left, you say? A fairly normal tunnel, which I should point out, the mine rovers, instead of carrying weapons that could have used the thorium ore, they're at least carrying manually aimed missiles. So, this is one of the few tunnel sequences where it's worth shooting everything, not for self-defense purposes. And there's some MAMs right now. There's a line I so want to use in this, but I really don't feel I can use it with the way my missiles get used. And besides, the line's already been used in other contexts. In gaming, in fact. In gaming videos, in fact. So the mining complex, I took quite a while mapping this darn thing out. Because I wanted to figure out a route that would have me enter the minimum number of tunnels to deal with this whole thing. I still wound up having to re-enter tunnels more than once. You ask me if there's anything that could potentially kill Terminal Velocity's replayability, it's the stupid tunnel system. So, here I've done a loop that can reasonably be assumed to cover all the necessary bases. Because really, In any other game, this would be a simple objective of explore the mining facility. But no. Terminal velocity, whether due to the limits of the engine or whatever, had to do it in a very specific fashion. So why don't we give a couple minutes for this to play out? Okay, you wind up way out here. So, what about the right tunnel? More of the same, really. Along with fighters presenting an actual threat. Well, okay, only a threat to a perfect run, but you're playing Terminal Velocity. Terminal Velocity has no such thing as a perfect run. Anyways, we exit out of here. And we hit our first checkpoint. And a smart bomb use. Even though I kind of lost track of this video, I could tell by the fact that the screen pulsed. Alright, next, this is technically the last of the tunnels in the first level of Eragon. And this is the most dull of all. There's not even any trucks. Oh yeah, I don't know actually how you're supposed to pronounce this planet's name. I pronounce it Eragon to not confuse it with that dragon, because this does not deserve that level of respect. Look at this. There's nothing. This is just a dull freaking tunnel. So you get the done marker here, but watch what happens when you backtrack. I'll fast forward it for you so you don't have to see all of the track back here. You go back through this room. You still see the done icon. Now, watch this. What happens when you go through the tunnel this time? Clears the freaking objective! Or at least one of them. What is this game? What is this? So after going through this tunnel again, and this room again, and this tunnel once again, we're finally back here on the checkpoint. So let's go through these tunnels proper. Because once you hit the done, as long as you don't go through what I did there, you won't have to repeat the entire sequence again. You just need to get back to the surface without literally retracing your steps. If you could do me a favor in the comments, try to picture the way the objectives are handled on this from a command perspective. Just a thought there. Oh, and what you saw right there is one of the few ways you can basically insta-die in the game. If you get caught on a wall, you bounce off the wall. But if you can kind of bounce in a corner and basically instantly kill yourself. It's the stupidest thing. I swear. So, when we go back through this tunnel in its entirety, we get to the surface, and finally, we don't have to deal with this level anymore. We can get out of here. Naturally, I will stop by for a couple of niceties. Or just to take out my frustrations, even. That's valid. But seriously, let's get out of this first level. It alone constituted for almost half the time I spent in Aragon. Second level, we go to a checkpoint. Or, we'll go to a checkpoint in a second. And I need weapons, I need invincibility, which is sadly going to go to waste. Invincibility and invisibility are never where you need them in the main campaign. I can only presume they're in multiplayer, but I don't know of anyone that plays Terminal Velocity multiplayer anymore. There's probably some obscure network that I've never been on. But if there is, you all can point it out to me, right? Maybe we can get some multiplayer footage. So, this level is a plus shape. I would say cross shape, but that's a little bit of a lopsided plus. Anyways, you basically explore these tunnels until giving the okay to leave. No destroy objective. They kind of need to stop implying these destroy objectives. They really should spell them out. And somehow I missed one little satellite. What is this crap? So from what I understood, you really only needed to explore two parts of the plus. The other parts are optional, which is really strange. I'd think the game would make you search all of them. And you can tell I really don't want to deal with this crap when I'm setting off the smart bombs. And that's the game telling you you've explored enough of this. Why they'll let you half-ass a level when... I still don't understand how this gets us anything. Objective destruction should not really be implied in games like this, if you want them to experience the whole game. It's not like any of these are truly secret, at least here. So, confession to make, I kind of miscalculated in using my smart bomb a little early. However, they almost flow like water from this point forward. Or at least for this planet and the next. Not so much for the last two, I guess. Just a little bit more, and we can declare this part of the planet done. So we've had smart bombs, we've had lasers, we've had smart bombs. What do you suppose this one's gonna have? I would wish for shockwave torpedoes. Well, look at that! Shockwave torpedoes are easily the best standard weapon type. I'd say standard is probably not the best word. Laser and plasma cannon are standard weapons. I guess shockwave torpedo is the best missile type weapon? Whatever. Let's just get out of here. So, after the bullshit tunnel nonsense that is Aragone, how's the boss stack up? Honestly, you want my opinion on this? The boss is... It's not an interesting boss. It tries. This is one of a few bosses that tries. You'll see what I mean once we enter yet another tunnel. I really have to go seek out Hellbender. Alright, so... This thing tries to be dramatic. Several tunnels in. First one, it puts you in a room like, what's the point? If these were all connected, if these were connected without this crazy map things that Terminal Velocity needed to use, this would probably be better. But as it is, I don't see the full point in having this much lead up. Oh look, a storage bunker with... Okay, the storage bunker with afterburners is a good idea, this far in. You might feel the urge to speed through the tunnels as much of a death sentence as it is. I admit I don't remember what knocked me off course there, and frankly don't care. I just want to get through this. Even if it is sideways through the tunnel. So after 2 rooms, 3 tunnels... What do we get when it comes to bosses? Well... Behold. Yep, the core is in an excited state. And we have to shoot out the shield generators down here. You notice, this thing fires so fast, you really can't safely engage it the same way you can most of the other bosses to this point. This strafing run I'm doing is dangerous. Exceedingly dangerous. However, I pump up enough missiles to drive into a second phase. And God, you get no warning. I could really use like a danger, hull integrity low, or something like that. But the boss is gone. And we have 3 more tunnels. This tunnel is a short one, thankfully, because this is the one. This probably is the one I would expect a speedrunner to use, the 200 tunnel. Though once I get a chance to review the other tunnels, that will change quickly. So, how about those other tunnels? I'm gonna spare you the flyback. Because the game clearly did not want you to revisit. 1 second. Yeah, this tunnel's longer, of course, and actually a little more visually interesting with that little bit there. Alright, so ion cannon retrieved. Tunnel number 3 coming right up. 1 moment. Yeah, 600. Yeah, that first 200 tunnel is easily the one a speedrunner would want to use. Unless somehow you want an ion cannon for the final episode, which I don't see the purpose. Especially when you've got lasers and shockwave torpedoes, you have literally no reason to carry the ion cannon around. The shockwave torpedoes, yeah. Anyways, that's Aragone, and that's episode 2. Things are going to end on a low note, I'm afraid, with the final 3 planets. You'll see what I mean. This is Frosty, signing out. See you on the next planet.